Hello, everybody. It is Monday and we are live, okay? It is, 6 o'clock on the nose, Monday live. I just saw through my other Instagrams that is notifying people. So I come on here every single Monday, provide this opportunity to talk about how normal people are earning an income online with no followers, no experience, not getting another degree, no crazy tech skills. And I also open it up to you guys to come and ask questions. I know what it's like to feel like as a beginner. I know what it's like to feel like when you're confused and you're overwhelmed and you don't know where to go. And so I just love opening up this opportunity to have a conversation with you guys and show you how real it can be and how it can fit into the cracks of your life and building it and just how life-changing it can be, like it has been for me. So I see we're popping on here. Let's drop in the comments, if you will, where you're calling in from. I just love to see where you guys are calling in from. So I'm going to give you a second there. Where are we calling in from? If you don't know, I don't know, you've probably been following me for a while, so you probably do know, but I'm from Iowa, straight in the Midwest, straight in the middle of the United States. I'm not from Ohio. I'm not from Idaho. I'm literally from Iowa, born and raised. I'm from a tiny, tiny town in Southwest Iowa, but I moved to Des Moines after college. So I've been here for about 10 years, but I just like to see where you guys are at, where we're calling in from. If you want to say it, great. If not, I totally understand too, but just like to see where we're at. Okay. California. Thanks for dropping in. I was actually in California. My husband and I went to LA in November. He had some work stuff out there, and then we went to an Iowa Hawkeyes game. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna just dive into it. So like I said, literally normal people earning money online. This isn't something we have to get a business degree in, a marketing degree. We don't have to change who we are, nothing crazy like that. It's literally taking skills you already have and just learning the process behind it and how to monetize those online. Right? We have skills that we use every day. We problem solve every day. There's something unique that we've figured out that we can share with the world and make money with it. And sometimes people are like, well, I don't have anything special to share. Like, I don't have any skills. And normally that's because it's so like, it just comes naturally to us that we don't think it's unique. But I hear people talk all the time and they're like, oh, I do this, this, and this to solve a problem. I'm like, that is so cool. I would never have thought of that. And so I just want you to think of problems you've solved in your life. What products have you done, or could you, used for that? What could you turn it into a digital product to teach somebody? But like, what can we use that we already know that we can make money from? It's just, now I need to learn the back ends of how this actually works so that I can make it profitable. And that's where I am. That's what I do. That's where I'm there to lead you, is to show you how to do this, where to start. And, so many people are always asking, like, where do I start? Where do I start? And it's, grabbing my free kit, following the recommendations, following the steps, and being willing to go all in on yourself and invest in yourself. My dog was just whimpering. That was weird. Sorry. Miller, are you okay? That was really weird. Sorry, that distracted me. He doesn't normally just like cry out of nowhere. Anyways, I don't know where I was going. Oh, not that long ago, I was, an elementary teacher, a volleyball coach. And in 2023, I was just done. I talked about it the other week on my live. It was just like to the point where I was just so like unhappy and angry and like mad enough to be like, I need a change in my life. I can't keep living my day-to-day like this. I can't keep waking up, driving, getting ready, driving 30 minutes to work, being burned out, exhausted, driving home to then get a workout in, make dinner, go to bed to do it all over again. I really wasn't making that much money. I wasn't getting to do anything that I wanted to because I didn't have the time or the energy or the money. And so finally enough was enough. And I was not the person that was going out like looking for other things. I honestly had the mindset too of I went to school to be a teacher. I chose my path forever and ever, and I'm stuck here. And I was just scrolling one night and I came across someone talking about earning online. And, you know, I binged her content. I started researching it, and I was kind of like, oh, I could do this. Like I could figure this out. Like there's a way that I can learn this online, and that's educating yourself. That's doing your research. That's, you know, investing in yourself for, you know, if it's an education or a challenge or a course or there are people out there that know how to do this, and, you know, without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on another degree, you can learn those skills online, which I kind of think it's funny when people are like, well, why would I pay to learn how to do that? And it's like, well, then why did you pay to go to college? You know, why do we pay for certain things we have to have at our jobs? If you know teachers or are teachers, right? Like we have to pay to keep our license up. We have to pay for everything that's in our classrooms. Like we pay for all of this stuff because it's what society says. But when it comes to bettering ourselves and learning from people online, like for some reason that freaks us out. And so I think that is a first step you need to think is your mindset and opening your mind to different possibilities besides what society says. Because what society teaches you is, you know, to get a job, which just then gets you by from day to day until you retire, and then maybe have time to enjoy that life. Like I don't want to wait until I retire to enjoy my life. There are things I want to do now, and there are things that I'm, you know, not going to want to do that I could at this age when I'm 40, 50, 60, 70, you know, there are things I want to do. I want to go I want to fly. I want to travel. I want to be on the beach in a bikini. I want to go see my favorite DJs. There are things that I want to do that I'm not going to want to do when I get older and when I'm retired and I have the money for it. And I didn't have the money to do those things in my 20s. So now that I've completely changed how I make money, I have the time and the money to go do those things that, you know, I did kind of miss out when I was younger, and now I'm doing them now, and I'm traveling every month, and I'm just getting to do a lot more. But that was because I took the time to learn the skills on the internet. I let someone show me, you know, just like I'm here for you now. Like I read the information that they provided. I followed the steps that they recommended. I joined lives in Facebook groups just like you're doing. It's just, I actually took their advice and I did something with it. So many times I see people, you know, attend all this stuff and try to get all this free information, and free information is great, but eventually we have to take that next step of, okay, how can I progress and learn more about this? And so I think that's a piece that we need to remember, because we can build something. I have like a couple notes I'm going to be looking at over here that I want to make sure I touch on. But like I said, we are earning money online because we have skills that we can learn to monetize on the internet, right? Like we already have something. You don't have to change who you are. You don't have to become a new person. You just have to learn the systems that help you make money consistently with that. You know, what questions do we have? What comments do we have? Drop them in here. I would love to hear them. Another thing I like to talk about is you can build this in the cracks of your life, you know, whether it's working full-time like I was, you know, I was teaching full-time, I was coaching club volleyball on the weekends. I had a packed schedule for very, very little money, and I was still able to do this and build this in the cracks of my day. Now, it took me a little bit longer than some people. I was faster than some people. You know, people are always like, how long does it take you to get set up? And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for you, because everyone is going to be different in this, right? And the education has changed a lot today. People are getting set up in a couple days, where it took me 4 months to get set up. But again, I was teaching and coaching full time. I had put in an hour a day. So it took me about 4 months to learn everything and set up the systems. My personality is also very perfectionist. So it takes me a little bit longer than people are like, I'll put it up and I'll figure it out as I go. But it can be built beyond all of the chaos. It's just dedicating a small chunk of time a day to then learn this, build this, and then stay consistent with the things that you need to do. Because once you learn the skills, once you have your system set up, then all you're doing is driving traffic to your offers, writing emails, and answering messages. And maybe going live if you want to. You don't have to. I know a lot of creators that don't go live. This is just an opportunity. Again, I provide you guys to come chat with me live in person, no bullshit. I don't hide anything. Just, ask away. If you want my free digital starter kit, comment ready. You can, dabble more into this. But I think people get tripped up on the fact of, I have this conversation a lot when they're like, how do you actually do this in 1 to 3 hours a day? And it's like, you have to have systems in place. And when you start in the beginning, you're not going to get everything done in 1 to 3 hours a day. It's that you're going to be working on it in that 1 to 3 hours a day. Like I said, I only worked on it like maybe an hour a day. And you can create yourself a checklist. Like for me, I would create myself this checklist. I was a teacher, so like checklists are big and for teachers. And I'm like, I'm going to accomplish all of this today. I'm going to accomplish 10 things. It was crazy. And then I would get upset and I would tell my husband, hey, I only got one thing done today. Like I'm really disappointed in the time I had. And he told me like, Stephanie, this is brand new. So the fact that you got one thing done on that list today that in the time you had, that's amazing, because we have to remember, like, this isn't going to be overnight. This isn't overnight success. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. Like, this takes time. And I think we have to mold our minds in the 1 to 3 hours a day is, I can work on this in the time I have, but my expectation of what I can get done in that might have to change. And not might have to, it's going to have to change. And how long it might take me to build something might take a little bit more time, because I only have 20 minutes a day. I only have 30 minutes a day. But you can build it in that time. And like I said, once you get past the learning phase, the building phase, the it's set up phase, right? All the stuff that you have to learn about, then you only have a couple things that you're doing outside of this to run your business. So I really want you to mold that when you hear the 1 to 3 hours a day, what that means, okay? That doesn't mean I'm accomplishing 100 things in 1 to 3 hours a day, or I'm making thousands of dollars right away because I worked 1 to 3 hours a day. It means you're building a business for the long term, okay? So that's where we fit it into the cracks of our life until it's built, until we learn it, and until we start scaling it to where we want to be. But we can do it in the time we have. You can do this if you're working full time, if you have kids, if you have, instead of getting another job, or if you have multiple jobs, or if you're coaching, or, whatever it is, you can learn and do this in that time you have. That's what I did. I'm a normal person. I literally grew up in a tiny, tiny town. I graduated with 47 people from high school. I went to a community college for 2 years. I then went to Iowa State University to finish my education degree. And that is all of the experience that I have. But I took my skills for teaching others, for coaching others, and I took them online, and I learned how to monetize those. So I want you to think, what is it that I do, right? I can see that Pat's on here, and I know he does insurance, and I know that he is going to be monetizing that. I've talked with him about that, right? Maybe it is health and fitness, losing, and there's so many categories you can go into health and fitness. Relationships, relationships has a million. Wealth, cars, knitting, yoga, like you name it, you can figure out how to make money with it, right? So, I don't remember where I was going with this. I don't know. I don't know 100% where I was going with this. I feel like I was like on a roll and then I forgot. Do we have any questions, comments, anything we're stuck on? We're wanting to get started. Like, what do you got for me before I keep rambling over here? Okay. I know it takes a little bit of time to type, but I just want to make sure that there's nothing. If there's not, I'm going to keep chatting about some things. I do have a few notes I wanted to make sure I hit. I put them in my email too, so I want to make sure I definitely hit them that I said I was going to talk about tonight. One big thing is like people get really worried about like scams, MLMs, pyramid schemes, and it's how to spot them and avoid those kind of get rich quick schemes or like scams. First of all, I've been in this space for 2.5 years. I've also like been just online in general. And I would say the only scams, I feel like we throw that word around a lot nowadays. A true scam, you guys, is someone is in your DMs. I've seen this. I have had it happen to people. I have been scammed myself. Okay, it happens. But a true scam is someone has ill intention. They are messaging you and telling you to send them money. And they promise you some kind of big return. You guys, if anyone is in your DMs and telling you to Venmo them, Zelle, Telegram, whatever the latest thing is, don't send them money. Please don't send them money, okay? I've had heartbroken people reach out to me and talk about that before. I was scammed in a way that my Facebook was hacked. I had a Facebook page with 57,000 followers. I was scammed in that sense. And honestly, it's really, really hard to trick me in those senses. They actually faked being a podcast. And I got on an actual Zoom call with them, and they ended up hacking that Facebook page. Now it's just, I did get Meta to like get them off of it, and I had access to it for a while again. But now it's just kind of floating out there, and I'm rebuilding a Facebook page. So, and I could feel it. Like when I got on that call, I felt like something was off. And I feel like you can feel that kind of stuff. That is a scam, okay? I feel like the word scam, like there are scams out there. Just please don't send random people like money through apps because they're promising you some kind of, what blows my mind is people will send, this also blows my mind. People will send like this random person that messaged them like $500, $1,000 because they tell them they're gonna like 10x it or whatever. But they won't invest in themselves into an education to do the work, right? Like to me, like then you were scammed because you were looking for an easy way out. And I just wanna put that out there. But you're not being scammed if you're investing in your education and you're getting something out of it. That's not a scam, that you didn't put the work into it. That's why I will randomly have people say, because you have to have disclaimers. The FTC requires you to have disclaimers. And so the disclaimer will say, the average person, I don't know the exact wording, it's on my stuff, but the average person will have little to no results when you buy how-to information. And that's not because it's a scam. It's because most people won't even like do the education or put the work in. And so just because you chose not to put the work in, that doesn't make it a scam. A true scam is someone coming and stealing your money and disappearing. So that's how you avoid scams and what a scam is. Stay away from like obviously any type of MLM pyramid scheme. You should never have to purchase something in order to like be an affiliate for them, or if they're just trying to lure you in to buy something to resell it. Run, okay, be safe there. Those also aren't super legal and eventually will come tumbling down. So don't join that kind of thing. Don't join things that are telling you you're gonna get rich super quick or making these wild promises. I do see things out there that are like, I guarantee that you'll make your money back in 15 days, 30 days, 90 days, whatever. You can't guarantee that. That's illegal to guarantee. That goes against the FTC guidelines, all of the things. So run from things that tell you that, because it's illegal to guarantee that, because they don't know you, they don't know your work ethic, they don't know if you're gonna put in the time. What they're doing is they're trying to lure you in to get you to buy something. I would never tell you that, hey, if you download my free kit, if you take the challenge I recommend, I guarantee you're going to get results, because I don't know all those things about you. So we're staying away from those types of things, okay? We're staying away from those types of things. That is how you avoid the scams, the pyramid schemes, the get rich hype. Just, you know it, you feel it in your gut. If it doesn't feel right, you should be reaching out, asking questions. Just please be smart out here. But what I want to get into is how to take those first steps so that you can feel less overwhelmed and that you're not behind. So let's start there. So what you're going to do is, first of all, again, I have a free digital starter kit that goes over these steps that I talk about. My elbow just like flew off the table. Oh my gosh, won't lean on that again. So again, the first thing you're gonna do when you're learning to earn online, right, is you're gonna pick a niche. Okay, and I talked about that a little bit. Niche could be wealth, health and fitness, relationships, pets, home decor, I just blanked, cars, children, teaching, all of those things. We're gonna pick a niche, something that we already know about, we're interested in, we're skilled at. And then we're gonna think of a problem we've had in that niche that we've solved, okay? Okay, well then what products or what could you create then to make money, right? Does that make sense? And so that product is gonna solve that problem. Okay, so say, let's go with health and fitness. I have someone that's working on a weight loss goal that I'm working with right now, right? She's lost 100 pounds. She figured out how to lose 100 pounds. Now she's going to teach her audience how she lost 100 pounds with whatever product she used, making guides, all of that jazz, okay? So we're gonna then, once we have a niche, we have a problem, and we wanna know how to solve that problem, there are 4 core ways to make money online, okay? There are 4 ways to make money online with digital marketing. The first way is affiliate marketing, okay? Affiliate marketing is when you promote other companies' products or services. 86% of companies have affiliate programs. That's over 107,000 companies in the entire world that you could go out and promote. So if we're talking about this girl that I'm working with that's doing weight loss, she could become an affiliate for all the products that she used to help her lose weight. Okay, this is super beginner friendly because we're not creating anything. We're just applying to be an affiliate for these companies, getting a unique link and driving traffic to those links, right? Super, super beginner friendly. We're just learning the systems behind it to set up to drive traffic to them successfully so that we can make the most amount of money possible. So that's the first way, affiliate marketing, okay? Promoting other companies' products or services. Second way is digital products. This is something that you create one time so you can sell it over and over again for 100% profit. So I'm gonna keep using this, the weight loss, lost 100 pounds. We can create digital products, right? Digital products can be PDFs, checklists, videos, courses, anything digitally that you create one time that can be downloaded. So let's say we create, what did this person eat to lose 100 pounds? We can create a digital guide in that. And what's really cool is when you create digital products, you can embed your affiliate links in there. So when you talk about something, you can hyperlink an affiliate link, and then that helps you get more streams of income. Maybe she does her weekly workout regimen, and we make that a digital product we can sell. Okay, maybe it's a video series of the workout regimen that she does, eating, whatever. But these are things that you can make one time to sell over and over again because you figured out how to solve this problem. We're just putting our knowledge, we're packaging our knowledge in a way so that you can sell it over and over again. The other 2 are a little bit more advanced, but I have met several people who jump right into these because they have experience in their professions that allow them to come in and do this, or they build up to it. This is something that I had to build up to. I started out as an affiliate, and then I started growing my own digital products, and now I do one-on-ones. So I'm actually an affiliate for over 10 companies. I have several of my own digital products, and like I said, I do one-on-ones. So the third way I'm getting into is coaching and consulting. So mentorship groups, one-on-ones. What is something you can meet with them on, or one-on-one? So back to the weight loss, right? She lost 100 pounds. Maybe she has a paid mentorship group where they do a challenge once a week, or she goes live in there and talks about something. Having a supportive community to hold you accountable to lose that weight. people would pay to be in those groups. Maybe it's a one-on-one. Maybe you want to make a one-on-one plan based off your needs. And so you pay that person to meet with them one-on-one, right? So that you can get your diet plan down. You can get your workout regimen down, and you're paying for their time because they have a result. You want to lose that weight. They lost 100 pounds. I want to see if that will work for me. So, right, I said affiliate marketing, digital products, coaching and consulting, and the last way is live events. Right now I'm hosting a live event. It's a free live event. It's something that I give you guys so you can come and ask questions. And again, that comment box is for you. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, whatever, drop them. I'm an open book. But you know, people do charge for webinars. I have been invited to speak in mentorship groups and I've been paid for it. You know, and what was cool is they recorded it and they gave it to me so I could sell that as a digital product on a specific topic. But you know, you could say, hey, I'm going to talk about, back to the weight loss, you know, maybe she's like, I'm going to talk about my 10 big secrets of weight loss. Come join me Thursday night at 7 p.m. Buy your ticket here. So you could host live events. You could, there's in person, but again, that is really, really advanced. I've been flown to speak at a live event before, but something down the line. But those are the core 4 ways that we make money online as normal people, utilizing skills that we already have. We just have to learn the systems behind it of how that works. And that's why education is so important. So again, the 4 ways are affiliate marketing, digital products, coaching and consulting, and live events. Now, we want to learn, okay, what are the systems? We need to learn a way, now that we know how we're going to make money, how are we going to automate that? What does the back-end systems of that look like? And that looks like having a place. I'm still going to call it a funnel, but there are simpler technologies out there to collect people's names and email addresses so we can follow up with them because they told us they're interested in what we're talking about, right? If we want them to comment a keyword, you guys see that all the time online. Comment ready, comment free, comment eyeliner, comment, fall, comment outfit. And then a message is sent to you with those links. That is a DM automation, okay? Or a comment automation. We want to learn how to automate those things. And that's why the education piece is so important. That's why I have my free digital starter kit. That's why I recommend the Pack and Profit Challenge, because it dives even deeper into the things I talk about in my digital starter kit. On Friday, there's going to be an implementation day where you can purchase a ticket, a live event, a live virtual event where you can see experts, an expert that has built $200 million businesses online. Pick a person from the audience that attends, get to know them, and set up their business from A to Z. You get to see that built in real time. You get to see the thought process, the offer pitch, how it's automated, all of that. And you get to walk away with all of that. And you get access to all of the replays to set up your own business in this. You guys, it is so possible. It is so life-changing. We just have to be willing to take that first step. We have to be willing to start, and we have to be willing to invest in ourselves in a little bit, okay? I know that the unknown can be a little bit scary, but it's kind of crazy to think as if we hate our everyday, or we're tired of being broke, or we're tired of never being able to take a vacation, or we're tired of never being able to buy that present for our kids, or we're tired of always having a migraine, or we're tired of never being able to get extra at the grocery store. Yet we'll still live our same today year after year after year after year, and we won't do anything to change it. We keep wishing we can change it. I'm here showing you how you can change your financial situation. And yes, it's going to take time. It's going to take work. It's going to take, learning. But if you commit to yourself, if you truly, truly commit to yourself, 90 days, a year, it's crazy to see what you can build and where this can go. Like I said, I started learning this in February of 2023. It took me from February to May to learn everything and set it up. Again, the education is insane. People are getting set up in a couple days, weeks. I launched June 6th of 2023. I made my first sale in 8 days. I made my first 4-figure commission in 2.5 months. I matched my monthly teaching take home month 4, and I doubled it month 5. Like within that year, right? From February to, oh my gosh, what was that? February to October, my life changed dramatically. February to October. So it's just crazy to think that you need to find somebody that you relate with, you're watching their content, you're following, you need to start taking action on the steps that they recommend. So for me, it's if you want to learn how to make money with digital marketing, you need to snag my free digital starter kit. And that's by commenting ready. And then you need to jump in the challenge and you need to work at this a little bit every single day. You need to block out time to say, I am mad enough, I want to change my life enough that I'm going to take this seriously. And you know, when you jump into things through me, I never leave you hanging. I send you tons of freebies. I send you tons of advice. I send you assignments. I send you pros and cons of certain softwares, things that are going to help you build your business the most affordable way. And I always answer questions. That's what I'm here for. Hey, TJ, I have my computer open, so I'm just going to message you right now from my Teacher to Marketer page. I'll send you that. But seriously, guys, what questions do you have? I love that we're here listening. I love that we're here checking it out. This is a first step for you, you know, or maybe you're still watching, but what questions do you have? I'm grabbing my link for you. Talia. Is that I hope I said your name right. I can see it in this. All right, Talia, I just sent you the link to my free starter kit. And I'm going to send you just so you have it. I mean, it's in there, but I'm going to send you the Pack and Profit I'm talking about. Because those are the first steps that I recommend in getting started in this. But what questions do we have, you guys? And I can keep talking. This isn't something, I'm just making sure I covered all the things I was like, what was I gonna talk about? All right, just making sure I covered everything I wanted to talk about tonight. Sometimes I get on a roll and I'm like, oh, I missed that. Haha, perfect. Of course. Okay. Any questions, concerns? I know it's MLK Day, so I feel like a lot of people either had the day off or their kids did. So this might be a crazy Monday for people. Who knows, you know? Give us a second if we want to ask any questions. Oh, here we go. Thanks, Mike. I have an idea for an ebook. I love it. How can I do that? I've seen sites that say you can do it for a $27 fee. I've never seen it as a fee. I guess I don't know what you're looking at, or maybe you're looking specifically. What I recommend, so I don't know if you've read my free kit or not, Mike, but you are going to set up your systems the same no matter what you promote. Okay, no matter if it's an affiliate link, if it's your own product, whatever it is, I promote everything the same exact way. You can literally create your ebook in Canva. Canva is an absolutely free resource. Obviously, they do have I can't think of the word, features that you would have to upgrade and pay for. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. But I use Canva totally free. I've made all of my PDF digital products, all the freebies that you get from me. I've made those in Canva for free. How much can you make off of it? I have that. Okay, so what I would recommend is, obviously you have your ideas. I would put them into ChatGPT to organize it, to make it look more professional. please don't just like copy and paste exactly what ChatGPT says, especially if you haven't worked with it a lot, because it'll just sound robotic, and nobody wants to buy garbage regurgitated from ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a tool to organize our own thoughts. So just to make that sound more professional, whatever. Then I would create that ebook inside Canva. And then you can just download it as a PDF. Let me look really quick on how, I need to look at the exact download button. I actually did it today because for implementation day coming up Friday, I have a ton of freebies I'm giving away. If you purchase to join implementation day, I'm giving like, I don't know, like $184 worth of free products away if you go. And I was like downloading them today. Let's see. Let me just open a random one. Oh, my free kit, of course. Okay. I'm actually just gonna like pull this off and show you really quick. Ooh, can I do this? Okay. So like this is my free kit I have created in Canva. And so if I like, when I go to download it, because I've already created it in here, all of my own ideas, all of my own thoughts, of course I use ChatGPT, oh my gosh, to make it sound better. But then all I do is I go to this download button, and then I don't want it as a PNG. I want it as this PDF standard. So it's best for documents and emailing. And then any hyperlinks I have in here, then they're clickable, like once I've downloaded it. And when I download it, I upload it to my Google Drive. Some people will just use the link inside here. Like you can get a shareable link, but I don't know. I like when it opens up in Google Drive better, and then all of my stuff is there. So like I'll literally download this, I'll go to my Google Drive, I upload it, and then I just have that as my shareable link. If that makes sense. Let me put this back up here. Sorry, I feel like I got off. Oh, how much can you make off of it? And so then I feel like you have to think about, okay, how much time did it take you to create, and how valuable do you see that information? And you can even talk to ChatGPT, like tell ChatGPT, I spent this much time making it. This is what's in it. You can even like upload the PDF to ChatGPT, and then they'll give you, like if you're new to doing this, like what they think you should price it at. Right? Like, and think like, if it was priced at that, would I pay that? Or even ask people, hey, here is my product. Like, what do you think you'd pay for this? I would say anywhere between, you know, depending on how much, like what it is, like $17 to, I don't know how many pages it's going to be. $37-ish, 47 maybe. Like my 1 hour webinars, I charge $47 for, because it's an hour recording of me. You have all the resources to it. So you just kind of have to toy around with it of what would you value it at. It's like picking a price for anything, right? And it's just, it depends on how you drive traffic to it and how many sales you're getting. Like you got to get people to see the value in it and that you're solving a problem for it. Like I can't tell you how much you're going to make exactly off of that, because that'd be like going to tell my husband, right? He's in sales. He sells packaging lines and robots. That'd be like, hey, you're going to make this much money this year. He doesn't know how his year is going to go because it's sales at the end of the day, right? You're still sales. Like it really, really is. I have that. I see. Okay. Friday. Yes. Friday, Mike, I'll send you. This is not like to pressure you, make you feel anything, but I'll send it to you. And if you're in my email list, like I listed all the freebies. Actually, tomorrow morning, you'll get an email from me and I'll say all the freebies in it, because I literally did it today. I was like, these are all the freebies you guys are getting if you attend. So it hasn't even been released yet. Let's see, Mike. Let's see. Okay, I sent you the implementation day. That's Friday. Full day, literally live. Sorry, I'm making sure I got that, because and if you attend on Friday, I just want to tell you guys right now, because I literally did it today. So it's like, you'll get my quick start digital marketing checklist. So like literally a checklist of what you need to do in order. My master reel checklist. So what you need to do to create high performing reels, like all the parts of it. You're going to get my weekly success schedule. So like how I schedule out my time in 1 to 3 hours a day, but then you can create your own schedule. My digital income dashboard. So how I keep track of like my offers, how I keep track of my like passwords, who I'm an affiliate for, where my products are, how, my expenses, how I've spent it. And then obviously I link QuickBooks in there because the more advanced you get, you might want to use that. But this is how I started as a beginner. It's still how I keep track of a lot of things. And then my glow up guide for Instagram. So it's like a full page of like how you should set up your Instagram, all of that. So literally $185 worth of bonuses for people jumping into implementation day through my link this week. But like I said, that's going to be going out in an email. Let's see. What does setting up a funnel look like? What does it start with? So it just depends what you choose. There are tons of free to start options. When I started, it's in my free kit I sent you. I started with System.io. So it's literally a funnel and email automation builder. It does take some time to like learn, right? Like the tech inside and out of that. But I love it because now when people go to my link, it opens up, they put their name and email in, and then my email automation is kicked off to send them to the information that they asked for and to follow up with them. Now the Pack and Profit challenge I'm talking about that's inside my free kit, they teach you how to do it with ManyChat because ManyChat has like evolved since I started in 2023. Before it was just a DM automation tool. So like when people comment a keyword, it sends you a message with the link, right? In response to your comment. Now you can collect names and email addresses in ManyChat. You can follow up in emails. And so that is the quickest way to get up and running right now. And that is what's being taught for beginners because it is super, super simple to set up ManyChat. It's a lot simpler to set up than like a traditional funnel and email automation. But I still call ManyChat a funnel because you're funneling people in and, collecting their information. So at the end of the day, it's still a funnel. It's super, super simple to get set up. And inside the challenge, they show you how to make your very simple like DM automations. Like when I started, they didn't show you how to use ManyChat. It was just a funnel and email automation. And I figured ManyChat out, like it took me a little while, but like on my own completely. Cause that's not even something that was taught in any like education because it was like something that you didn't use until you needed like an auto responder. But now that's what they're showing people to get started with. So if you go through my free kit, it will talk about that. And then the challenge, if you decide to hop in, dives even deeper into that. But basically a funnel's whole purpose is to collect a name and email so that you can follow up with them on email because they're telling you that they're interested in what you are offering. See, hey, this is my problem. I said I hear you talking and it's like all Greek to me. Yeah, I feel like the more you learn, like the more you're like, that makes sense. Like when I first started, that's what it felt like. I was like, what is this word? What does that mean? And like, that's why diving in and learning and completely immersing yourself in this is super, super important. Okay, yeah, I'm new to doing this and I'm trying to figure this all out. Yeah, I always tell people, and I don't mean it in like a pushy way, but like I always tell people like, hey, if all you're doing online is trying to download every single person's freebie, buying every beginner level thing out there, right? Like a $14 challenge, $15 challenge, 20 here, you're confusing yourself and you're going to end up spending more money in the long run than if you just pick one person to like focus. Hey, I'm going to follow this person's advice and I'm going to follow all the way through. That's what I did. I did not download really anybody else's like free information. I found one person. I was like, nope, I want to learn from this person. I'm going to follow this person's advice. And I downloaded their freebie. I read it. I was like, I'm sold. I'm going to take the education that they recommend, because that's how you get to be really clear and successful, and you're not as like overwhelmed and confused because you're following one thing rather than learning from 100 things. And if we don't start investing at least a little bit of money into ourselves, then we invest time. And time is something that we can never get back. And then the more time you spend, the more discouraged you get, the more confused and overwhelmed you are. And that's why I recommend the things that I do, because it does provide clarity and it does provide the things you need to fast track your success. And it's explained very, very simply. And it's not like, it does not mean you're like dumb if you're confused or overwhelmed. I was super confused and overwhelmed. Like when I started, I just had to make sure every single day I was excited about it. I was excited about it. And I had all these ideas flowing I was educating myself on what I learned. Like I learned something in the education, I was researching it, I was doing all the things I could to get this set up, because I knew I could see the possibilities. I knew it could change my life. It was just figuring out those steps. It's just like when you get a new job, just like when you go off to college, we're learning things and we have to figure it out. And I feel like we don't feel like it's acceptable to give up on those things because that's what society says. You need to make it not acceptable to give up on this because you're interested in it, because you can learn it and figure it out and to make more money and hopefully eventually, right, whatever your goal is, whether it's to leave your job or just make a few extra $100 or pay for vacations, whatever it is. Yeah, I know I have a few pages wrote on my own and I wanted to do it with AI help. Yeah, Mike, so 100%, you use everything that you're wanting to teach these people. You put it into like ChatGPT. You will need to take some time if you, like I said, haven't used ChatGPT a lot, like mine. I've been using it for almost 2.5 years. It knows me very well, and I still tell it like, I like this better. But you can go in, tell the ChatGPT your whole idea, give it your notes and have them create however many page PDF. And then you're going to read it, right? We're not just copying, read it. Does it sound like you? Does it sound robotic? Like, did it miss some of your information, right? ChatGPT is not perfect. It is a tool that helps us fast track things and get things done quicker. But at the end of the day, it's still technology and it still needs to be told what to do. I feel like that's the same thing when people take the challenge, right? They'll be like, well, ChatGPT told me this has to be my niche and this has to be my first digital product. And I'm like, oh no. No, it doesn't. ChatGPT is a tool. It's giving you ideas. We can tell ChatGPT, we don't like that idea. I like something else, whatever you like better. Did you send an email? Mike, an email about what specifically? If you're in my email list, you are getting my emails. I don't know if you're in my email list. Okay, I sent the implementation day to your DMs. I'm going to type in your DMs right now my email so that you can look up. Because like with the new junk and promotions folder, a lot of people's emails are ending up there and people are completely missing them. So I always tell them to look up my email, Steph, STEPH at shawmarketingco.com, like in your emails. And if you're in my email thing, they'll pop up. And shawmarketingco.com is SHAW, marketing, obviously, co.com. So I just sent that to your DMs too to see if you're getting my emails. I'm assuming you are because it looks like my automation's gone off on you in a few times. So I'm just looking at that. Yeah, I just changed my Instagram business account. Awesome. But I don't know how to do reels or post. So let's see. I think when it comes to reels or posting, like you don't know how to actually create them or you don't know what you want to be in your content. Because those are two totally different questions and I'll answer those. If you don't know how to do a reel or a post, I'm going to be honest with you. There are tons of Google and YouTube tutorials. Get to know one platform really, really well. Like mess around with its features. Like I said, go to tutorials. I like CapCut a lot, or I like Instagram a lot when it comes to editing features. Now, when it comes to what to post, right, that's a different thing. What to post is you want to tell people how something is solving your problem, right? Whether that's an educational post, you're educating them entertainingly. Please don't be like boring and like nobody wants to watch that. People come on Instagram to feel seen, feel heard, feel understood. So in an somewhat entertaining way, you're educating them on your niche, on what your product is solving for them, right? And then you want to share your story or something motivational. So earlier I was talking about the person who had lost, right, 100 pounds and they're doing a health and fitness niche. Like sharing your story of where you started and how you got there, and then your call to action, right, is your product. That makes people feel seen and heard, like, hey, I want to lose weight. I'm struggling to lose weight. And they might see a post of you talking about your journey of how you struggled, but you found a way to lose weight. And that's going to trigger people's emotions and feelings, and you're sharing you and sharing your story. Like you are your brand, your struggles, your flaws, everything about you, right? And those are the types of things you post. You know, storytelling, like showing, you know, the changes it's making, your goals, bring them with you, educate them. I like to alternate. I like to do some kind of storytelling or motivational post and then an educational post. I'm not perfect every time, but if you look at my page, you kind of see that flip-flop between my content. Hey, hi. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like I'm on information overload. And that is a normal feeling, Mike. Information overload is gonna feel normal, and it's okay to take breaks. So if you're like, I did this for 20 minutes, I need a break, do it. I did this for an hour, I need a break, do it. Okay? It is new. It is a lot, you know? But like I said, it starts to make more sense at the more time you spend learning, as does anything, right? Just like when you learned to walk, you got your first job, you went to your first college class. It's always an information overload because it's new to us, but it's making your brain think and grow, and just like, you know, when your muscles are sore after going to the gym. Strongly suggest the P&P challenge. Yes, see, love that. That's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm spending money on, and I don't know what I have out there to the clarity. So you kind of feel like you're in that spot where you're like, I'm just downloading all this crap. I'm spending this money on these random things, but I'm not clear. And that's why, again, I recommend the things I do, because it does provide the most clarity. And again, I'm here every Monday to come ask questions to. My DMs are always open. Like, I will message you back. I have a free Facebook group that I'm going to start kind of turning things up in it a little bit more. But yes. Yeah, I'm going to be sticking with it. I love that. Yeah, I am. It's hard line, and it was for Friday. It's a hard line. I'm not sure what you mean there, Mike. I'm not sure. Yeah, I am. It's a hard line, and it was for Friday. I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, I'll take that into account. Love to hear it. I definitely want to tell my story. That's the whole thing, is like, I don't know where to get started with it. Life experiences and how you get over them, right? Oh, your email. My email. I think you're saying that you got it in your email, but maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I definitely want to tell my story. That's the whole thing, is like, I don't know where to get started with it. You just start small. And again, that's the great thing about ChatGPT, is you can tell them like a small part of your story, right? Like mine is it's going to be repetitive eventually. Like mine is super repetitive. I was a teacher for 8 years. I coached club volleyball. I was so tired of being like disrespected, underpaid, all that crap, right? And I found a way to become my own boss and make my own money by sharing my skills, right? Teaching and coaching others and still kind of being in that educational field. And that, and then I lead them, I lead you guys to the steps, and then it's led to a main offer that's going to solve that problem. At the end of the day, every single system is set up like that, right? No matter what content you're consuming, most of the time it's being monetized in some way. They're having you like it, share it, save it, comment. But we just have to do it. It's kind of weird, and it's going to feel cringe, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. And if you went back to my very, very, very first post, June of 2023, my content is very different, and it's obviously a lot better now than it was, and my story wasn't perfect, but that's okay. People online don't want to see perfect, especially with how much AI generated people. We crave connection. We go online to see real connection. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, that is your email. Okay, so you do get my emails. That is the email. That makes sense now. I was like, I don't know if I'm understanding this correctly. All right, guys. Any final questions, final thoughts? I feel like I'm going to end it here. Kind of wrapping up on time. So I'm going to do my end of the night spiel. But if you have a question, don't feel like you can't ask. I will answer you. But I go live every single Monday at 6 p.m. Central Time. I'll be going live next Monday as well. I post all my replays. So after I get off here, I will post it. You'll have access to watch the replay. I also email it out. So you'll get it in an email. I strongly encourage you to, grab my free guide kit, same thing, by commenting ready if you don't have it already. It does talk about very affiliate marketing based. It does talk about the core 4 ways to make money online. It also talks about the steps you need to take to get started. Then after that, after my free kit, I do recommend the Pack and Profit Challenge. Okay, it's only $25. I actually give you $74 worth of freebies if you snag it through me, through my links. It's the best place to get started for beginners when you're looking for what's my niche, what's my offer gonna be, who am I talking to, pain points, call to actions, everything a beginner needs to know. And then every other Friday, it's what's called an implementation day. It's where you see somebody who's built $200 million businesses online literally show you how to set this up from A to Z. You see it raw. They pick a person from the audience. It's really exciting to be that person picked because you get your business built with a very, very, a huge top marketer, and you get access to all of that stuff, all of those replays, all of those assets. Okay. And I give, like I said, $185 away of freebies if you attend that through my link. But aside from attending things through my link, these are the best and clearest ways to get started if you want to earn online. Okay, we want to learn how to do it right. We want to avoid the get rich quick crap. We want to take our skills. We don't want to become a new person. We just want to learn how to do this. And this is where you start. Okay, and I never leave you hanging. I provide so much support, so much value, because I want this to be accessible for you. I want you to be successful in this. I want you to learn how to do this because I know how life-changing it can be. And we only get one life. Okay, so let's make it great. So I'm going to see who I missed really quick. I agree with Mike. It's a lot, but would you say that the first real ideas are the hardest and after a while it becomes easier, like building muscle? 100%. The first posts are going to feel hard. They're going to feel cringy, but you just post them. And then they get easier and you see how people react with them. We go back to the drawing board. When stuff starts performing well, you can recreate it, reuse it, right? On days I'm really, really busy and I want to work on something else in my business, or I'm traveling, or I have plans, right? I go back to content that performed really well, and sometimes I download it and just repost it, or sometimes I recreate it with different B-roll, right? So the more content you start creating and we see what works well, then we start reusing what works well because it resonates with your audience. So yes, it becomes easier. Okay, you just like every Monday. Yes, I go live every single Monday on this account. April 8th or 9th, I can go back live on my main Teacher to Marketer page. Okay, thank you. You slowed down the spinning my brain about all of this. I'm so glad this provides clarity.